8.2 Statistical Measures. So this should be review for most of you. Let's look at these. Mean, you take the sum of all the data, okay? You add everything up that you have and divide it by the number of values. Okay, so here we've got an example. If we have, let's say these are baby shoe sizes, 1, 2, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so to get the mean, we add them all up, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shoes here. So we divide that by 5 and get the value. Median, that's just the value in the middle of your set of data. Okay, when it's arranged in order. So if we took the same baby shoe sizes and we look at it right in the middle, well, that would be 2. So you just say the median is 2. It's a little bit different when you have, of course, 5 is an odd number, so 3 is right in the middle. But if we had, for instance, 6 values, then both technically the third and the fourth value are in the middle. So there are two ways to answer this question. You could take those two values, add them up, divide by 2, so you get the average, which is going to be the number technically right in the middle, and hence the median, which for this example would be 2.5. Or you can just answer either one of them. Okay, so the answer could be 2 or 3. Okay, technically they're all right. It just depends on what your background is in this. Mode is the most common value. So for 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, it's 2. Okay, there's 2 2s, and there's one of the other values, so it's simply the one you see the most. Okay, and then as a separate example, if you had this set of data here, these baby shoe sizes, here there's 2 4s and there's also 2 2s, so then both of them would be the mode. Range is simply the largest value minus the smallest value. Okay, so for 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4 is the biggest number, 1 is the smallest number, subtract, and you get 3. So the range for this set is 3. Okay, so we'll do an example, a couple examples with frequency tables, which is a little bit more difficult, but more practical. The shoe sizes for a class are summarized in the table shown. Alright, so these aren't baby shoes anymore, these are student shoe sizes. We want to calculate mode, median, mean, and the range. Okay, so this is a frequency table. Okay, so it means that 2 people have size 4 shoe, and 4 people have size 5 shoe, and 7 people have size 6 shoe, and so on. Okay, so to answer all these questions, I'm going to extend this table. Okay, and I'm actually going to make a column of frequency times shoe size, which I'm just using the short form. And we'll calculate that first because we're going to use this. So 2 times 4 is 8, 4 times 5 is 20, 7 times 6 is 42, and we'll fill this in. Okay. So first thing, the mode. Okay, the mode. That means that we want to know what value is seen the most. And the frequency tells you how many of these there are. So the frequency gives away or tells you what the most common shoe size is, right? There's 7 size 6 shoes, and that is the highest number in this list. So the mode is 6. Size 6 shoe is the most common here. Okay, median. Median's the value in the middle. The value in the middle. So first of all, we're going to need to know, well, how many shoe sizes are there? So if we add up these right here, we have 6, 13, 18, 24, 27. There are 30 students who have told us what their shoe size is, ranging from 10 to 4. So that means the value right in the middle is either 15 or 16. So the shoe size at either 15 or 16 will be right in the middle. So you can go either from the bottom or the top. I'm going to start at the bottom. So 2 and 4 is 6, 6 plus 7, 13, 13 plus, okay, so somewhere in here will be the median shoe size. Okay, somewhere in there is the 15th and the 16th person, and that is a shoe size of 7. Okay, So this might be, that may not be straightforward. So what I'll do is write them all out, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. So there are 2 people with size 4, and there are 4 people with size 5. 7 people with size 6. 5 people with size 7. 6 people with 8. 3 people with 9, and 3 people with 10. Okay, so this is all the data that we collected. Okay, there are 30 shoe sizes here. Right? So what we want is the number in the middle when we're looking for the mean. Okay, I did it the fast way, but the slow way would be we want to find number 15 and 16, and that'll be in the middle of these 30 shoes. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So 15 and 16. Okay, it's right there. It's right here. And I got to 7 doing it the quick way because I just counted these up until I found the one that had 15 in it, which was also, again, of course, the same, which was 7. All right, let's look at C, which is the mean. Okay, so if we're going to get the mean, we have to add up all of these values, okay, all 30 of them, and then we're going to divide by how many there are, which is 30. This is why we added this column, okay, because frequency times shoe size, if we add all these up, we'll actually get the sum. We will actually get the sum because this is saying, oh, there's 2 of size 4, and if we added those up, the number would be 8. There's 4 of size 5, okay, if we added these up, then there would be 20, and so on. Okay, so if we add all these up, we'll come up with 210. Okay, so that's the sum. This is how many there are, and so for C, if we take 210, okay, the sum of all the values divided by the number of values, we will get 7. Okay, so the mean for us is 7. And the range is simply taking the highest value and subtracting the lowest value. So the range, we're going to take 10 and we're going to subtract 4. Okay, 10 minus 4 equals 6. Alright, next example. Data on the number of minutes that a particular train service was late have been summarized in the table. These are given to minutes. Okay, so let's answer these questions. How many journeys have been included? Okay, well, this is the frequency. This is telling how many of these journeys were either on time or 1 to 5 minutes late or 6 to 10 minutes late or whatever it says here, up to over an hour late, which there were none, which is great if you're a passenger using this rail system or rail provider. Okay, so if we add all these up, that's how many we've looked at. So 19 plus 12, 31, 44, 50. 50 train services or 50 journeys were analyzed. So that's the answer to A. Alright, B. What is the modal group? That's just a fancy way of saying what's the mode. Okay, and the mode is the most often occurrence. And so for this time, the highest number is 19, right? 19 is the highest frequency, and that's on time. So for us, the modal group is on time. Or the mode is on time. C. Estimate the mean number of minutes the train is late for these journeys. Okay, so we're going to have to create a second column, and we're going to have to figure this out. Okay, so frequency times minutes late. Frequency times minutes late, ML for short. Alright, so on time means 0 minutes late, so 19 times 0, that's an easy one, that's simply 0. Okay, so for here, for this group, we're going to have to use the average, okay, because well, these values have a range, right? It's not just 1 or just 5, it's between 1 and 5 minutes. So the middle value between 1 and 5 is 3, so we're going to multiply 3 times 12, that gives us 36. For this one, the average between 6 and 10 is 8, and 8 times 9 is 72. For this one, between 11 and 20, that's actually going to be 15 and a half. 15 and a half times 40 is 62. Here, the number between these two, they're getting more and more complicated. 21 to 40, that's 19. 19 divided by 2 is 9.5, so it's 30.5 times 4. It's 122. This one is going to be 50.5 times 2. That's 101. And none over 60, so that's nice. That's only 0. Okay, so what we have to do is go ahead and get the total for that. If we add all these up, we will come up with 393. Okay, so we're estimating the mean here because of course we don't know the exact value here, right? We're given groups. Okay, so we've taken the middle value as our best estimate. Between 1 and 5 we're saying, oh well, it's probably close to 3 minutes late. Between 21 and 40, oh well, it's probably close to 30.5 minutes late. Okay, so we come up with, we have to calculate the mean. We'll take the sum of those values, that's 393, and we'll divide it by the number of values. Okay, use the calculator, come up with roughly 7.86 minutes. Okay, so we can estimate the mean to be about 7.86 minutes. So which means if you're a passenger and you're waiting for the train, you may very well be waiting for 8 minutes for your train to come. Okay, which of the two averages, mode and mean, would the train company like to use in advertising its service, and why does this give a false impression of the likelihood of being late? Okay, well, the modal group says that most of the time it's on time. So of course, if you're a train service provider, you want to say that most of the time you're on time. So of course they're going to use that one. However, if you look at the data, you realize, well, yes, but of course there are a bunch of other times where it's not on time. So if we take the mean, we'll get 8 minutes, and that's a little bit more accurate representation for you as the customer. E, estimate the probability of a train being more than 20 minutes late. More than 20 minutes late. Okay, so there are 50 services that we checked here, or train routes, and over 20 minutes late, there, this one and that one, so there were 6. Okay, 6. So for E, 6 out of 50 times, according to this data, on average, it's over 20 minutes late. 6 divided by 50 times 100% gives us roughly 12%. Okay, so not too often, about 1 in 8 times you'll be waiting over 20 minutes.